Nintendo. So we're looking at this. We're going to start off with the 3DS. Now I'm going to be honest. There's the vast library, not at its best this year. I look at this list of games. We got Yokai Watch, we got Zelda Triforce Heroes, Majora's Mask 3D, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, Codename Steam. None of those scream to me.
Codename Steam was this year.
Yokai Watch.
I think it was.
I believe you. I'm just like,
I might be wrong about that. But.
I was surprised. Like Yokai Watch out of that, I was like, they have something huge with Yokai Watch, and it just apparently didn't pan out very well for them in the West. I haven't seen any numbers, but I was reading some anecdotal stuff saying like the game was kind of soft, and that really shocked me because I remember identifying that game a couple of years ago based on Media Create numbers in Japan. I was like, this game's gonna be fucking huge.
In Japan, it is huge.
It's massive.
Like, if you look at it, it's just ridiculous. But yeah,
but it's not translated.
I played a bit of it, and it's not for me. For sure. It is, I always talk about the fact that I love Pokemon so much, but if I were to play Pokemon for the first time now as an adult, I'm not sure if I would. Okay. But then with Yokai Watch, it's like I am having that experience. I'm like, this is not for me. But it is also way more dumbed down than Pokemon is, so I don't think that's a fair assessment. But it's an even more kiddie Pokemon game, and that's not what I want. I want a more adult Pokemon game. But I'm sure there's people out there that do love it. But like, I wonder if it's that same, because Pokemon's still kicking. It's not like that just went away.
Yeah,
like the cartoons and all that. Like the little kids love Pokemon.
Yeah,
still.
they're gonna do something with Pokemon. They have something up their sleeves with that game or that franchise. I don't know what it is. Yeah, 3DS is in a weird space. I mean, it's the predecessor of a fantastic handheld. And in its own right, has a fantastic library. I just think it's lost a little something along the way, and they're in the weird space in between too. The system, the handheld's a little weak, and the games that are coming out on it might not be resonating with the audience the way that the DS resonated with people for a very long time. But it suffers from the same problem that the Wii U suffers from. It's just they have to do this kind of token support of it until they're ready to show the NX, which I think will replace both of these. And I know that they say that they'll live next to each other. The thing is they've said this before with GBA, GameCube, and DS. I mean, the three pillars, that was a huge thing for them, and that didn't really pan out. Yeah. So, especially for GBA. I feel it's sad to see the 3DS die, but dying, but it had to happen. I mean, the same thing's happening to Vita in a much more pronounced way. 3DS came out, almost 5 years ago, so it's not a good run. It
did have a good run. It does have a vast library of amazing games. But like, I look at this, and yeah, Majora's Mask, obviously it's a classic, and like, I'm happy that it came out on 3DS. I was surprised at its announcement. Like everyone, it's one of those things where every time there's a Nintendo Direct, you go on NeoGAF and everyone's like, Majora's Mask is coming to 3DS. Like I'm predicting it. And it's like, you never really think it was going to be announced, and it was, and it's like that's cool that it's there.
Yeah, it was great for the new generation to be able to play it.
Xenoblade Chronicles, like supposedly people love that game. I never really got into it, and
a lot of people have been busting balls about about Xenoblade. Like, why aren't you playing Xenoblade? Why aren't you playing Xenoblade? I'm like, well, I don't really want to play the Wii U, and people are like, this game's right up your fucking alley, and I'm like, I'm sure it is, but it's just not what I want. That's not the direction I want to go in right now. It's to Greg's point. I kind of feel like. The point we've made, not this time, but you want your trophies, or you want to just enjoy an ecosystem, or you want to do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, I just don't want to like stop everything for this 150-hour fucking role playing game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just this momentum killer. But I've watched and really been reading a lot about Xenoblade, and people really love it. They have something. It was Monolith makes that game, right? They have something really cool with that. I think that they have to treat it with a little more care and make sure that they segue it over to NX to make sure that people are really seeing it in a very noticeable way, because it's certainly not pushing hardware. And so the very limited amount of people that have 3DS and more pronounced Wii U might not be enjoying it.
Well, the biggest problem with the 3DS is you need the new 3DS to play it. So it's like even more splintered,
Yeah.
So I couldn't even play it if I wanted to.
Yeah, but I still have the original 3DS myself, the little tiny one.
Wow, that's ridiculous. So yeah,
but you dust it off once every 2 years to play something.
The last time I played a game in any length, well, actually, I dusted off to play some virtual console games this year. I really wanted to play. I wanted to play Metroid for some reason. I haven't played in a long time, so I dusted off to play that, and that was fun. But
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds was the last like native game I like really went balls into. Yeah, it was
well,
great.
I mean, after that, just off the top of my head, there wasn't too many like big games you need to play. Like there was Pokemon, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, and like there's a handful of things here and there.
Bravely, I think Bravely Second's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
That comes out next year. I think March. So there's a few.
Yeah, the 3DS I personally think had a pretty soft year, but the Wii U, I mean, it had a lot of games, not all of them the highest quality, but like I'm surprised to look at this list and be like, oh shit, we didn't get too many that I loved though. But like Splatoon, like people really enjoyed it. I had fun with it for what I played. It didn't capture me in that same way of like, this is my fucking game of the year.
Sure.
But it's fun and it's cool. And I love that we got a new Nintendo IP that people genuinely care about. The fact that, we see the Smash ballot and people talking about who they want in Smash, and of Nintendo characters, the Inklings are up there for what people want. And that's, I think, a good sign. Like new Nintendo IP is a good thing overall.
I agree. Especially they're not churning out meaningful IP to the degree that they were a long time ago. So to see something like Splatoon really hit, and inspire people to buy the system, which they did, not in huge numbers, but even my brother, calling me when Splatoon came out, I was like, I finally picked up a Wii U. Splatoon is awesome. And I was
Did you pick it up for Splatoon?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's cool. That's great. It's, again, not a game for me. I think the game's really clever, but it's not a game I would want to play.
You'd think you'd like it based on your Mario Sunshine ridiculousness.
Yeah, but then I have to play with other people, and it's a whole, it's a whole thing.
I get that.
It's a whole thing.
But yeah, it's cool seeing like Game Awards, like seeing it win Best Shooter. It's like weird thing, and I'm sure there's some weird politics involved in that, but like it's cool. I like that. At least it's it's awarding something different.
I'm sure the politics are that like half of the, or not half, I guess, but you know what I mean. A majority voted for this, another majority voted for this, and then there was enough people who voted for Splatoon that those two that canceled out each other.
Yeah, well, good for Splatoon.
Yeah, no, that's how democracy works, right, Colin?
Yeah, I guess.
Fast Racing Neo just came out like last week on the eShop, and it's awesome. It's F-Zero, but it's not F-Zero. But it's Wipeout, but it's not Wipeout, and it's fun. It's really, really fast. You don't like the name. I love the name because it is what that game is. It is just, here is just a generic fast racing game.
Yeah, but if we could have sat down for 20 minutes, we can come up with 10 better names than Fast Racing Neo.
Like Fast Racing X, maybe.
Neo Goes Fast.
Neo Goes Fast. That's even a better name.
Neo Goes Fast.
Put your pair in the slot.
I like the name. I officially like the name Neo Goes Fast. Put your pair in the slot, not so. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if I want to know.
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse just came and went. There was a lot of games like that this year on the Wii U. That's just like Yoshi's Woolly World, right, which took 10,000 years to come out, and it finally did. And it was one of those things where if that game came out in March, I think I would have liked it a lot more.
Sure.
Than it
too
coming
much going
out.
on.
Yeah, it's just too much going on when it came out that I couldn't enjoy it the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
I love Yoshi games are my favorite, but it's not 10 out of 10. It is very 7 out of 10 ish. So that was disappointing, but we did get a lot of that stuff just consistently throughout the year. We got okay Nintendo games.
Mario Tennis,
another example. Okay Nintendo games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, based on like the way people feel about that Animal Crossing game and Mario Tennis, like I wouldn't even say they were okay. It seems like people think those games are bad, and that was what really surprised me, because you don't really see bad Nintendo games.
And that's the thing, is it's like this year I think we saw a new level of, like you were saying, they're preparing for the NX. So it was there was a lot more than I remembered, but that's just because a lot of it was subpar to okay. So like the Yoshi and Kirby are the okay ones, and then Mario Tennis and Animal Crossing, whatever the hell it's called, the board game Amiibo Festival. It's like they just did that. They just like put that. That's not a real Animal Crossing game, you know?
No, definitely
not. And then there was other things like that too. There with with Mario Party 10, which could have been awesome. You know, the Mario Party with the gamepad and being able to do all this cool stuff, and then you can't. None of that is a thing. Like you can use it as Bowser in really, really, really bad mini games. It's like, damn. Like they could have got it right with Mario Party. They could have made it a kind of greatest hits of all the Mario Party stuff and really kind of won people back. And it being the 10th one, like that's an event. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Their names on all these games, and this was an unusual year to watch for me. Yeah.
Fatal Frame, Made in Blackwater, finally coming over here. I didn't play that one.
You're missing that.
The big one. I'm waiting for the big one.
The big one's coming.
Okay.
Devil's Third.
Oh, well, then there was Devil's Third.
Another terrible game.
My thing is,
apparently I didn't play it.
The Wii U for me is completely three things. Two of them are DLC. Mario Kart DLC, which was awesome, and how you should do DLC.
Yeah.
Give us nice, substantial thing. Like the DLC offered for Mario Kart was essentially like each one of them combined would be half of what Mario Kart had total
Sure.
for super cheap. And it gives you cool things. It finally made Mario Kart what it should be, which is just Smash Bros.
And Baby
Here's Link stuff, here's F-Zero stuff, here's Animal Crossing
And
shit.
Baby
It's
Park.
just and Baby Park. Yes. So I loved that, and I loved that it was just like kind of like we got the first bit last year, but it ended this year. And then Smash Bros, which is just the damn gift that keeps on giving. I love that it's still not over. As of recording this, we're 2 days away from the final direct announcing the last batch of DLC, and that excites me, man. That means
That's really cool.
There's just more to come, and like I wouldn't have thought that when they had the last Smash Direct before the game came out and announced Mewtwo. I was like, ooh, this is a good sign that we know there's DLC, but it's a bad sign that we're only getting one character shown. Like I was like, I wish that it was more like there's this many more to come, because I thought that meant maybe we'll get one after that and then call it a day. But we've seen consistent like characters, you know, and levels, and I love that they're really using Smash Bros as a way to promote their other games. Like when Mario Maker came out, there was the Mario Maker level added and stuff like that, and it's cool that they're consistently doing this. And then Mario Maker is the Nintendo game of the year,
yeah.
And they're also doing the strategy with the DLC of just like kind of like consistently adding to the game and putting all these things out. There's the Mercedes-Benz event that they added. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I love that they can do that. I love that it's just like there's now these platforms for them to go on. And I hope that this is experimenting for the NX.
X gonna give it to you. No, Mario Maker. I mean, that was one of the things that was amazing. It's like, oh, you guys want checkpoints? Sure, we'll give you that in like a month and a half. Here you go. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
And I mean, Mario Maker alone has reminded me why I love video games and shown the capabilities of video games, and seeing what like Dan Reichert and Patrick Klepek do. It's awesome and it's hilarious. And to see the level of challenge and like to see someone try to outwit it, it's awesome. And it's just this like, it just keeps getting better to me. And that game just keeps giving, and there's keeps being more challenging things or more interesting things. And my favorite thing is that it makes me think about Mario differently, and it teaches me things about how the gameplay works that I would have never thought about. Like the way that you can use turtle shells and the way that you can throw items in the air and catch them and do specific things. I'm like, that's built into the gameplay, and people are now using those as challenges that Nintendo would never do.
Sure.
Because that's too complex of a mechanic. But when people are doing that, knowing that you know how to do that, it's really cool. I wish you'd play it more, Colin.
No.
Like it a lot.
When it comes to NX, Con will play it.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I mean, you know, reviewing Nintendo, it was a very year filled with a couple shining moments.
Sure.
And I think that overall it is the transition year, and that's really the nicest thing I can say about it. There was a lot of stuff, but the good stuff is good, and I think it leads in a good direction. Like I said,
for them to give it to you next year.
They're going to give it to me. They're going to give it to me hard.
You better hope so.
I'm hoping. I really am.
Everything rides on this. Everything rides on it. And we all know it.
And I think Smash Bros is going to be a really important thing with NX. Like they've invested so much in this Wii U Smash Bros that like it needs to somehow be compatible with the next one. And I think that they know that. And I think that they're going to continue. Like I'm speaking early because I don't know what they're doing at this final direct. But like I hope that there's at least some messaging of something. Like I'm pretty sure we're going to get
about NX.
No, not about NX, but just in terms of like Smash isn't done. You know, like we might not be getting
Smash
more characters or whatever, but like it's a big deal because it's Sakurai doing it, and like forever it's always, oh, this is going to be his last Smash. This is going to be his last Smash, and this potentially is his last message to the people about this game. And I'm just interested in the wording and how they kind of phrase it. They're not going to talk about the NX, but it's going to be interesting to see just what Smash Bros means to him and like where he stands with it.
Sure.
If he's going to say like he's done and that's it, or if he's going to be like, I'm not done.
Yeah. Yo, fuck you, I ain't done.
Yeah, which would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is going to be cards on the table time for them. It's going to be fun to see what they have planned between their mobile initiatives and of course the NX. But I you know, the rumors are circulating, and we're learning more about the NX. So you know, with patents and with stuff coming out of Foxconn and how many they want to sell and when they're going to start manufacturing and stuff, it all indicates a fall 2016 release date. But I don't know if they were going to be ready that quickly.
They will be.